Hmm. There you are. Oh my gosh, what is that?
She's muted.
Talking away. Okay, now can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Okay, so I'm like talking away, and I'm like, why is nobody responding to me? And then I'm like, oh, you probably have your fancy microphone. I have not figured that thing out. I'm gonna have to call you guys on a live or something.
For show.
Mine's
It's
not
not
hooked
connected.
up. James is calling me out right now.
Oh, it's not. It's for show. That's awesome. So everybody knows it's going to be at like 7 o'clock. So there are going to be people that get on early because a lot of people know my live or know my Zoom doesn't normally hold that many people. But just so everybody knows, I upgraded it to 1,000 people. So we have plenty of room. It's going to be a great call tonight. So if you guys will all just give us a moment. We are going to start in a minute, and I am recording it, and I will get a link made for the recording for everybody and get it to all the leaders so you guys can share this wonderful information we're about to share with you. I'm looking at these memes. Y'all are so funny. Okay. So I'm in Florida with this hat on. Well, it's not a hat. It just goes around my head because I'm always cold.
It's so cute.
I normally have a robe on when I do this team call because I'm always freezing.
Well, it's good to be comfy. I'm wearing pajama pants. But
oh, yeah, me too. I love it, right? Because I put my computer and everything up because my stand thing for my phone broke and I'm waiting for my new one to come. Because these people I know are making me do these lives every day. And
they sound awful.
No, they're not. And so I have it coming, so I had to like put everything up higher, and I'm like, oh my gosh. How's everybody else doing today? How was your weekend? Yes, she does.
Aw, thank you, Renee. That's so sweet. I was going to say when I got on here that my hair is a mess today, but it doesn't matter. Thank you, though.
And today, for all of you guys who were in my Facebook training page and you listened to my live, I said that I had this great call tonight with this person that has like 20 million followers. Well, that was probably over exaggerating a little, but I wasn't sure. It was a lot of people, but she'll tell you her entire story in a minute when I introduce her. And I'm going to be turning it over really soon. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and get started a couple of minutes early because I am recording the call so that I can, again, post it and give it to everyone that... Yes. Oh, sorry. I'm talking to James and Kristen at the same time. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you guys all for joining. I know that you are coming from all different parts of the organization and the company, so we're really happy to have you. So I'm going to just cut to the chase really quick. I'm very, very excited to introduce Kristen Linenhart. Right?
Close. Linhart.
Linhart. Okay, that's close.
All right.
Kristen lives with her husband and fur babies in Columbus, Ohio. Kristen and James are my marketing gurus, and they do all of my marketing for me now, and that's why it's so much better for you guys who've been asking me. But together they run an exclusive brand consulting agency called Branding Freaks. Kristen got her start in the social media world when she was voted number 3 woman of MySpace. So for all of you who know what MySpace is, by G4 TV. Then she went on to build a media company around her Facebook page, which grew to over 5 million likes, and at the same time developed an Instagram account of over 250,000 followers. That's a lot. 255 million. I was confused. All without spending one penny. Kristen now coaches entrepreneurs like myself on how to represent their personal brand in an authentic way across multiple platforms. She's helped them get ranked in the top 10 hashtags of Instagram multiple times, increases their followers by thousands, and has built a platform where they can engage with new prospective customers or business partners. So Kristen, I am super, super happy to have you. It's nice to finally personally meet you kind of face to face like this. Thank you for all you and James do. And Kristen, welcome. And we are super excited to have you on tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm still kind of new to this Zoom and live video world. My husband's kind of pushed me out there a little bit. He's usually the guy up front, and I'm the one behind the scenes, like the kind of Instagram nerd, editing pictures and planning Instagram layouts. So I'm not really used to this live talking sort of thing, so bear with me. But as she said, my name is Kristen, and I got my start on social media back when MySpace was a thing. A friend of mine was a photography major and basically used to practice his photography on me. And we would go just around town and take pictures, and whatever photography pictures he took of me, I would post on my MySpace page. And it started building up a following because these pictures were always really unique, really interesting, and stuff that people wanted to come back and see. And so I built my entire page around that, and I had somewhere around like 300,000 friends on MySpace. And then Facebook came along, and I was like, well, what am I going to do on Facebook? I have all these friends over here on MySpace. And I really honestly didn't know how I was going to build that on Facebook. So I got into the modeling industry and built a fan page on Facebook, and it did not grow overnight by any means. I worked on it for probably 5 to 10 years. I went from 5,000 to 10,000 followers, and from 10,000 to 50,000, and somehow to 1 million. I credit that to my consistency, which is one of the big things in social media. If you're going to try to grow your brand on Facebook or Instagram, whatever the platform, you have to be consistent. That's the biggest thing. You have to post daily. You have to be consistent about what you're posting. A lot of people get confused, and they'll start posting about health and fitness one day, and the next day they're posting about their dog all the time, and they're not really consistent about who they are or what their brand is or what they're posting. So that's really how I built my Facebook page, and I did honestly the same thing with my Instagram. I was one of the first people on Instagram back when it was for iPhone only. Not many people will remember that, but it used to just be iPhone. Android couldn't get it. It wasn't in the marketplace. And hashtags and consistency were how I built my Instagram. Hashtags are amazing. If you don't know what hashtags are, that's the biggest tip that I can give you for when you're posting your photos. If you want people outside of your network, people that aren't following you, to see your posts, you really, really need to use hashtags. And you really, really need to keep those consistent with the types of pictures you're posting. And so with hashtags, like let's say, for example, you post workout photos or pictures of healthy meals, you're going to use hashtags like hashtag health and wellness, hashtag fitness, things like that. And anyone who's searching those hashtags on Instagram is going to find your picture in there. And so you're reaching people outside your network, outside of the people that are following you already. And that's the goal of Instagram. You want to reach outside your network and you want to eventually build a list. So the next thing we're going to talk about is converting your Instagram into a business page. And I can show you an example of that. My phone will be a little fuzzy, but you might be able to see it. If you convert your Instagram to a business page, you'll get this little tab right here that says email. And people can click on that and email you directly, so they don't have to send you a direct message where you only get certain amount of characters that you can write someone in the first place. And then sometimes if you're not following them or they're not following you and they just send you a message, it'll go to your spam. So you're not going to see that. So one of the big tips that we have for people to convert their Instagram into a business page, you have to start actually on Facebook. So you're going to have to Facebook.
Hold on one second, Kristen. Let me just mute everybody and then it's going to mute you. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Yep, there you go.
Perfect. All right. So if you create, you may already have a Facebook business page, but if not, you can easily create a Facebook business page, which I recommend a lot of people having. And when you do that, you can then go into Instagram and you can switch it to a business page. And I'll show you just really quickly how to do that. You go to your settings, which are right there, that little settings, and then you'll scroll and you'll find switch to business profile. And you can just click that and it'll have you connect it with your Facebook. And then you enter your email information. Sometimes people can connect their phone number if they want to. I recommend getting a Google phone number so people don't have your real phone number. But people can email you, people that are interested in your business, people that are interested in you can email you. And I think that's a really important thing too. Another really good thing is your bio. So if you don't have a really good bio that tells people what you are and what you do for a living, are you a 7-figure income earner? Are you a mompreneur? Are you in the health and wellness industry? If you don't have those things in your bio, then people don't truly know who you are and what you represent. So I highly recommend people getting a really good bio on their Instagram. Another tip that I have is that, oh, sorry, I got muted there.
Thank you, Kristen.
You put your real name in your Instagram profile, and this will allow people to get to know you and remember you for your name. I see a lot of people out there who will have, like, I don't know, 321 as their username. And that's cute, but a lot of people are not going to remember you and who you are. When they see your posts, they're going to be like, I don't even know her real name. So I always recommend, it may be hard to get your real name without putting numbers or whatever in it, but somehow be creative and put at least your first name into your Instagram bio. That's another really big tip that I have. So we've gone over hashtags, bios, creating a business Instagram account. I really want to see if anyone on here has any specific questions that they want to go over so that you guys are getting value from this.
So if you guys have questions, just type them in the chat there and we will be able to see those. And I know there's people on here that have questions because you're always asking.
I think another really good thing is patterns that people don't realize. You can Google a lot of, you can just Google Instagram patterns and follow along with like posting quotes and pictures. So that's another fun thing. So I see some questions coming in here. What's the best way to set up a clean story profile? So I'm thinking that you're meaning either your Instagram stories or the story highlights, either one of those. So with Instagram stories, those are always fun. I recommend anything that you're not sure if you want to post it, you're not sure if it's pretty or relevant to what you do for a living. If you're not sure if you want to post that in your actual Instagram, post it in your Instagram stories, because those go away after 24 hours. So you don't have to worry about it cluttering your Instagram. Another fun thing with that is the highlights, like we were just showing. You can create these on your desktop or on your phone even. There's, I think, some apps out there that do it. But whatever you want, whatever colors represent your brand. I have pink. I think Kaylee has blue on hers. But whatever colors represent your brand and your image, and say whatever things you post in your Instagram stories a lot, like health and wellness. You can do one for that with maybe like a salad or a barbell as your little icon. And those are fun because you can store your Instagram stories in there. And whoever comes to your profile and it's after that 24-hour period, they can click on those and go through all of those stories that are relevant to that category. So I think that's really fun. Do you always use the same hashtag whenever possible? So if you have your own hashtag, yeah, for sure. If you don't, I always use whatever hashtags are relevant to that image. So I would never want to hashtag like health and wellness on like a makeup picture or something like that, you know, because it's not going to be relevant. And then whoever is searching those hashtags isn't really going to find that interesting or be attracted to it because it's not about that topic. So unless it pertains to that, or there are some that I will use consistently, like hashtag entrepreneur. That's a good one. Or hashtag stay-at-home mom. For a lot of our entrepreneur clients, we do use those pretty consistently. Why does my profile show promote? So Instagram allows you to promote posts, which is basically like ads in Facebook. So you can do an ad with pictures that you post and more people will see it. I don't find them to be super successful on Instagram. A lot of the ads that we run are better on Facebook, but it is something that you can play around with and try. Let's see. I made a post yesterday and couldn't even find it. How do you get back to it? And that's interesting. I don't know if I've ever actually had that happen, but if you ever want to go and see if it's on your profile, I'm sure you probably know this, but a lot of people will use their plus symbol there in the middle to post. And then if you want to see if it actually posted on your profile, you just click your little picture there. And if it doesn't show up there, then it probably didn't post. So you might want to try again. It could be like your signal or whatever. I have an Instagram account but rarely use it. Can I just create a business page from it? You can create an Instagram business profile, but you're still going to get the most results out of posting and using it consistently. I don't see the settings tab. Okay, so for settings, you hit the 3 lines in the top right, and then it'll bring up the see these little 3 lines right there. And then once you click that, it brings up the settings. It's hard to see. Let's see. How do you do different colors on story highlight? So you can find a lot of free Instagram highlight downloads. So if you Google Instagram highlights free, you'll find a lot of free ones that you can just use. But if you want to make your own, either on Canva, which is another cool, pretty easy for people to use It's kind of like a graphic design type website. So you can create them in there and just make whatever color background you want, and then put the different color icons, or kind of customize it and make it more for you and relevant to your brand. So if you post a lot of pink stuff, or your brand is more like blue, like Kaylee's, kind of try to go with your brand. You get creepy guys posting and messaging you. Last time I posted on Instagram, that's all I got. Yeah, so I think that's a problem that a lot of us have, and a lot of these profiles end up being fake sometimes, but I just kind of try to ignore it. There is a way to delete comments, and we have clients ask us that all the time. If they get like a weird or creepy comment, how do I delete it? Because I don't want that on my profile. So you just go to the comments on the picture and you can swipe right and it'll delete it. I don't even know what I just deleted, but I deleted somebody's comment. Let's see, does IG have algorithms or something similar like Facebook, like so many posts or DMs a day? So they do. Nobody really truly understands Instagram or Facebook's algorithms, but I will tell you that the more people you engage with and they engage back with you, they're more likely to see your posts than if you don't post very often or you don't engage with people. So it's really important to not only be consistent in posting, but to make sure that you're interacting with people, because if you interact with them, they're more likely to interact with you, and they're going to see your posts more often. So that's really important. And then you can only like a certain number of posts a day. So make sure you're not flipping through your Instagram and liking over 100 pictures in an hour, because you can get blocked from Instagram for doing that. I've seen it happen. Does the Instagram profile account have to be linked to the Facebook you have, or can it be linked to? Yeah, so it needs to be linked to a Facebook business page. So if you don't already have a Facebook business page, you're going to want to create that before you try to switch your Instagram to a business profile. That's going to be part of the setup process, and it's really, really easy. Once you click that switch to business profile, you'll just select your Facebook business page. It'll be right there and it connects them. I don't see any other questions yet. Oh, is it good to delete old things or leave all your posts and pics, or does that hurt you? So I've done it. If you go to my Instagram right now, it says that I have 20 posts, but I've actually posted way more times than that. I've sort of reinvented my Instagram over the years as I've been doing different things. So if you are currently posting a lot of stuff from your company, you might want to go and clean it up just a little bit, and maybe remove some of your old posts that had to do with company sales, or maybe a previous company that you were in, so that your Instagram looks consistent. You don't want to have a bunch of like, oh, I used to promote Modere or whatever it is, but now I'm doing True Vision. And so you don't want to confuse people. You do want to go back and delete stuff that's no longer relevant. But I wouldn't, other than that, recommend deleting too much, because it can look weird. Like if someone views my face or my Instagram, they're like, why do you have 20 posts and 240,000 followers? So that's a little bit of a long story, but I got into the sort of makeup world of Instagram, and I went back and deleted all of my old modeling and fitness type pictures because they didn't really fit with that brand anymore. So unless you're really doing things like that, I wouldn't recommend deleting old posts. You can just leave them and keep consistently posting, and eventually they'll be so far down nobody will even really notice them.
As long as they're retail pricing, yes. But she probably doesn't recommend that.
Which one is that?
Is prices allowed in Instagram photos? Are prices allowed in Instagram?
Oh yeah, so if you're doing like a product post, So I don't highly recommend people doing a lot of product posts on Instagram, mostly because unless you have 10,000 followers and you're doing it in your story, there aren't really any good ways of doing links in Instagram because you can't click them. So you can put links or whatever in your captions, but no one can actually click it and go to it. So it makes it difficult for people to do shopping on Instagram. So I just don't even usually recommend people posting something that they might have to go to a website to buy. I tend to recommend doing like vague posts around products more than, hey, go check this out, buy this, or listing prices and things like that. How do you build your following that are not friends and family? So hashtags are really good for that. You always want to start out with, connecting your Facebook page and getting all of your contacts in there because that's a good start. But after that, whenever you post, make sure that you put hashtags in your captions because really that's the only way that you're going to reach people that aren't already following you. And if you just need hashtag ideas, you can even Google that. But you can kind of like just think off the top of your head, like, okay, what is this picture pertaining to and what is it relevant to? And if it's, like I said, a picture of you working out, you can do like hashtag workout, hashtag fitness, hashtag health and wellness, just whatever you can think of. I'm sure it's out there. And that's a really good way for other people to find you. So my main page got hacked and I've tried to get back in, but haven't been able to. Should I just start a new one? Yeah, I mean, that would be an easier way unless you have like thousands of followers and you don't want to rebuild. You should be able to contact Instagram somehow or Facebook. I'm not really sure which page you're pertaining to, but you should be able to contact someone about that if you do have like over 1,000 followers and you find that it might be hard to rebuild. But otherwise, I would just start a new one. When people follow your Instagram, should you follow them back? So we've gotten this question a lot because there's a lot of companies and a lot of people out there that are doing this right now where they go, and you'll find this on your profile if you're active at all, you'll find random people start following you and you're like, well, why is this person following me? They have 20,000 followers. So what a lot of people are doing right now is following people hoping that they follow back because there's rumors out there that it works. I don't personally find that it does. But once you follow them back, they will unfollow you. They have software out there that allows them to mass unfollow people. So it's really simple for companies and top like entrepreneur people to do nowadays. So I don't recommend it because you don't want an Instagram profile that says like you have 7,000 followers, but you're following 7,000 people. And the reason for that is because anybody can come to your profile and see that and be like, oh, well, she only has 7,000 followers because she follows everyone. So I don't recommend it. But if you like their page, then by all means follow them back. But I wouldn't do it with everyone. Is there a specific app that you can just put your pictures on instead of writing it in the description, the wording? So I think you need the captions for Instagram posts, and we use Buffer. It's a website that allows you to schedule Instagram posts, and you can put your pictures in there and the descriptions, and it makes it really easy because then you can do spacing. For some reason, Instagram doesn't allow you to space your captions. So remember that too. If you're writing out a caption on Instagram and you want to like go down a line, Instagram doesn't really let you other than adding bullet points. So little periods. So you would have to do a space and then add a dot in order for that space to stay there. Otherwise, when you post it, it'll look fine, but then when you go to post it, it'll smush it all together. but Buffer allows you to do spaces. Let's see. Why is the number of followers important? I know it is, I just don't know why. So it's not really important. It is in terms of like building your brand. The more followers you have, the more potential customers you have, obviously. And then also if you, let's say you're a public speaker or an author, or whatever it is that you do for your business, the more followers you have, it sort of justifies your brand and validates it for other people. So new people seeing your page will, for some reason, I know it sounds dumb, but they'll think more highly of you if you have 20,000 followers versus 200 followers. It's just validation for some reason. That's just how people's minds work. Oh, and if you reach, my husband just reminded me of this, but if you reach 10,000 followers, the really fun thing about Instagram is they sort of reward you for reaching that number. You get this swipe up feature in your Instagram stories. So it's one of the only ways to really get people off of Instagram into your website. So you can add like a picture or a video in your Instagram stories, and then you can post a link to that picture or video. Let's say it's a product, or let's say your friend has a t-shirt business and you post a picture of this particular shirt. You can direct people to then swipe up and go directly to that product or that shirt or whatever it is that you're trying to sell or get people to see. And that can really be any website, your personal website, whatever it is. So that's a really fun reason to get 10,000 or more followers on Instagram too. So I'm not seeing any other questions yet. If you guys have any more, just let us know.
Hey, Dad.
So I'll just go over patterns really quickly. For a lot of you who don't know what patterns are on Instagram, let me go to, you guys probably know Elisa, so I'll just go to hers because I have it here. But you can see there's kind of a pattern going on here with quotes. And that's not really like a secret or a hack or anything of Instagram. It looks nicer. So we get a lot of questions from clients. It looks more planned out and like you put thought into your Instagram rather than it being cluttered. And it kind of gives you a purpose in what to post that day. So if you do have a pattern, and let's say it's like picture, then a quote, and then a picture, you know then that day you need to post a quote. So it kind of gives you something to do that day and a direction to go in. And it looks nicer. So that's another really fun thing. And there's different patterns. You can do checkerboard. You can do diagonal lines this way with quotes. It's just something fun to play around with. Our business page is free. Yeah. So on Instagram and Facebook, you can create a business page for free. The only thing that you pay for on these platforms is advertising. So if you wanted to create an ad on Facebook, that would cost you, but the actual business page itself is free. On the stories, can you add to it more than once a day? Yeah, so that's the fun thing about your stories is that you're not gonna like annoy people that are following you. If you were to post like 20 pictures a day on your actual Instagram page, that would kind of annoy people that are following you. They'd be like, why is she posting so much? But the fun thing about stories is that it doesn't show up in people's timelines, but it'll still be there at the top. So you could post 50 stories that day, and it wouldn't matter. No one's going to get mad about it. So that's the fun thing about stories too, is that you can kind of play around with it and do it as many times as you want. How long does it take on average to build a successful page? So everyone is different. And that's what I've always told people. If you run into someone who guarantees that they can build your Instagram page in a week or a day, that person is more than likely doing some shady tactics, which there's a lot of them out there, because you can't really guarantee how long it's going to take to build someone's page or how many followers you can get them. So it does take time, it does take consistency, and everyone's different. I know people that have built their page in a year, and it took me like 5 years to build my page. Is there an app we should look at IG story videos to break them up in the right length? So Instagram, it cuts your stories if you're doing like a video. It's only 15 seconds long, but a lot of people don't realize if you just keep holding the button on the story, it'll just keep recording. So you don't have to pause and you don't have to worry about cutting it. There are apps out there if you have a pre-recorded video or whatever it is to cut the video. But if you're recording one directly into Instagram, I would just keep holding the button. I don't know if any of you guys have used Snapchat, but it works basically the same way. You can record the video and just keep talking into it, and as long as your thumb stays on the record button, it'll just keep going after that 15 seconds. So that's a really fun thing to do on Instagram as well. You can also do lives on Instagram. I find that Facebook lives are more popular because you get alerted when people go on there, but Instagram story lives are fun to do as well, and they will get alerts if they have the app open. So if you're friends with someone who's on Instagram at the moment that you go live, they will get alerted, but if you have their app closed, they won't get any alerts for that. So I think I've covered everything that I can think of. The other thing that I would add to is a lot of people ask about Instagram filters. So filters for your picture. When you upload a photo, Instagram has a lot of different filter options. They can brighten the photo. They can kind of give it like a colored hue. You'll see a lot of bloggers out there that all their pictures have like a pink hue to it. So it's something fun to play around with, but I actually don't recommend it for any of our clients because you want to post the highest quality images. And I found that the filters on Instagram tend to kind of pixelate your images, so they make them not as good quality. There's a lot of apps out there. If you take a dark image and you think, well, this is too dark to post, there's an app called Adobe Lightroom, and that's free. And you can brighten your pictures without adding any like weird colors to it like the Instagram filters have. And it just brightens it, and it makes it where you can then use it because it's not dark anymore, but you don't lose the quality. So I really like that one. Any other questions?
No? Going once, going twice, bang, 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 bang.
How often should we post? Okay, so that's a really good question too. There's a lot of people out there who have millions of followers and they post multiple times a day. And they can do that because a lot of times those people are celebrities and their followers don't tend to get as annoyed with them. But I found even with myself, if I post more than once or twice a day, I actually lose followers that way because people can get annoyed with it. So I recommend, if you want to be safe, kind of just post once a day. And the best times to post that I always tell everyone are in the mornings. I think that a lot of people, before they get out of bed in the morning, get on Instagram and Facebook and see what everyone's doing or what they missed while they were sleeping. And I think that's really the best time. And after 5 p.m. when people are getting off work. I apologize, is Buffer an app? So Buffer is an app, and it's a website. So they do have both, but we use Buffer on our desktop. The name of the app to brighten the picture. So it's Adobe Lightroom CC. And if you just go in the App Store, you can download it for free. And they have, there's a lot of presets out there that you can buy, but I think it comes with 4 presets. And I honestly have never bought any. I just, when I downloaded the app, I used the Bright, and it comes with the app. So I think that's honestly all you need. But if you get really into editing, then you could definitely buy different presets with different styles and colors.
Oh, no, that one right there in that bag. Mm-hmm. And little girl only gets half. Okay, guys, does anybody have any more questions? Oh, here we go. Do you have to put a location to your post?
So I wouldn't say that you have to unless you're traveling. So a lot of our clients, when they go on trips for their network marketing companies, they'll take a lot of pictures. And I'm like, these are really pretty pictures, but you could be in Florida for all anyone knows. And a lot of times people simply don't read captions. So if you are traveling, you're going somewhere different, then I would recommend tagging your location, just because people sometimes don't read. So if you put it in your caption, they might not even see that. Are hashtags the trick? Yes, I love hashtags, and I honestly would not have been able to build my Instagram the way that I have without them. It's a little bit challenging at first. There is sort of an algorithm to hashtags, but once you get the hang of it, it's really, really fun, really easy way to get new people seeing your posts. I recommend using hashtags that have a lot of posts in it. So when you start to type the hashtag, you'll see like the hashtag and how many posts are in there. So it'll say like 100,000 or 1 million. The ones that have more posts in it, a lot more people see it because they're using that hashtag often. It's a more popular hashtag. So if you're finding hashtags that only have a few hundred, I'm not against using them occasionally, but I wouldn't only do hashtags that have a few hundred posts in it because they're not popular and not a lot of people are going to see it. Oh, how many hashtags per post? That's a really good question too, because Instagram says that you're allowed to do 30 hashtags in your posts. But what a lot of people have found is that you can get sort of blocked if you use more than 14 to 16 hashtags in your post. So not blocked in a sense that you can't use your account, but blocked in a way that when people go to that hashtag, they don't actually see your posts in there. It's called a shadow ban. So I recommend between 14 and 16 hashtags. To sync your contacts, I think I showed you guys the doing the settings trick for you. You hit the 3 lines, and it'll bring up your settings, and you can connect your contacts. My Facebook shows up there. But if you've connected your phone, you can do your contacts from your phone as well. I think it is best to have your IG public, just because it's a lot easier for people to see if they want to follow you. Like, some people don't know what your account is about, and they'll follow you, and then once they see your posts, they'll be like, this account is not really my style or whatnot, and then they unfollow you. It's a lot easier to have it public. And then if you're doing hashtags and your profile is private, they're not going to work. No one's going to be able to see your posts. So I definitely recommend making your account public. That's kind of important.
Best to have the Instagram. Okay, well, it looks like a lot of people are starting to leave. So I'm going to go ahead and end this meeting today. Thank you so much, Kristen, for being on. I will get the recording to everybody really, really soon. They'll work on getting that to me as soon as they can. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for taking time out to be here. But most of all, thank you, Kristen, for taking time out of your night to be here. We really, really appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night, everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.